Hey guys, it is Heath with the Vacation Voyagers, and I'm at home. I don't want to be at home, I want to be on a ship. But since I cannot be on a ship right now, I decided to come up with a new segment for the channel, and it's going to be called, the only thing I can really come up with is called IMO. You know what that means, right? IMO, in my opinion. And I decided, you know what I haven't done since I've been on all of these cruises is I haven't given out a video of an overall view of each ship that we've done. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to give you guys my opinion about each ship that we have cruised on in the past 15 years up until now. So we're going to start with the very last cruise that we just came back from, and that is Royal Caribbean's The Wonder of the Sea. So why not start with the biggest and baddest? So episode 1, let's get started. We'll try. Getting on the ship, getting off the ship. That's the first thing we'll start with because it's the quickest thing. It was the easiest embarkation and debarkation we've ever done. We weren't even supposed to be on the ship until 12:30. That was our arrival time. We got there early because we had spent the night in Fort Lauderdale. We had to check out by 11, so we went ahead and Ubered to the cruise port, got out of the Uber, went straight through, handed them our stuff. We were from the Uber until the ship, it took us 5 minutes. By far the easiest, and there were 40, I think they said 4,600 people on the ship. It was by far the quickest, easiest embarkation we've ever done. If you have your vaccine card, you have your test of negative, everything was just right through. 5 minutes, we were on the ship. So that was awesome. Getting off the ship, no different. We got our stuff. We didn't give them our luggage. We kept our luggage in the room. Got up as soon as they said you can disembark. We grabbed our luggage. We were off in 5 minutes. Easy as pie. Kudos for that. So real quickly, I want to talk about as soon as we got on the ship. This is where you will run into issues. We had unlimited dining package for the Wonder of the Sea. So as soon as we got on the ship, the first thing we had to do was book all of our specialty dining. And that's what we did. We got on the ship. They told us we could go up to Chop's Grill and book everything except for Azumi. We had to go to Azumi to book their specialty dining, which is the Japanese restaurant. And we did that. Probably took us about an hour to do that. It wasn't a very long line. There was maybe 4 or 5 people in front of us. But having to book all 7 days with specialty dining and finding times, it was a little long. I think it took us maybe 15 minutes to get all of our bookings done. But we got everything we wanted with the exception of Azumi because we had to go to Azumi to book there. So we wanted Giovanni's, the new mason jar, Chops, Wonderland. We wanted Wonderland, and then we wanted Azumi. So we were able to get all of those days that we wanted. The times, we had a couple of late ones, especially mason jar because that's the newest one. The hardest one to get was the mason jar, but we were able to get into it. We were able to get Giovanni, and we did that twice because they have the new menu at Giovanni's, which I highly recommend. It's by far, in my opinion, their best menu and the best place to eat. So if you get on the ship and you have the unlimited specialty dining package, go book it immediately. Don't even go to the muster station first. Go book your specialty dining first. Number 1 tip. Number 2 tip. We went up to Windjammer to eat, get us a quick lunch as soon as we got on the ship. We did go to the muster station first. Muster station, still easy. You go to your muster station, they show you how to put on a life jacket, you watch 2 videos, you're done. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. I hope that never changes. That's just the quickest, easiest muster station you'll ever do on a cruise ship. So after we got our specialty dining, we went up, ate at the Windjammer, and while we were at the Windjammer eating, my wife, Voyager T, booked all of our shows. So tip number 2, book your shows as soon as you get on the ship because they do book up fast. Reservations go quick. We did that. We were able to watch everything that they had, book everything that you can as soon as you get on the ship. That way it's so much easier for you to get to the venues and other stuff as well. So tip 2, venues. book them. So let's get to the ship itself. Pretty much similar like the other Oasis class. The Symphony of the Seas, Harmony of the Seas, Oasis of the Seas, the Allure of the Seas, and now the Wonder of the Seas. They're all the same. There's nothing super different about each ship. They still have Central Park, Boardwalk, the Royal Promenade, casino on the floor below. Everything is set up pretty much the exact same as all the other Oasis class ships, except for a couple of additions or changes, and we'll get into that. So one of the bigger changes is the solarium. The solarium on the other Oasis class ships had more of an overhang when you go into the solarium, which is the adult area for pool and hot tubs and lounging. Kind of a good news, bad news thing with the new solarium. Good news is it's all enclosed. They have like these plasticky glass panels that overhang the entire solarium. It is actually temperature controlled, so it's not hot out there. It's actually a nice 72 degrees. The bad news is you cannot go there to get sun because there is no opening for you to get sun in the solarium. So if you want to get sun, you're going to have to go out in the Lido deck or have to go out on deck 16 where all the chairs are, where you can lay out. Still have all the new cabanas and stuff that you can rent on deck 16. But yeah, the solarium, I actually like that solarium a lot more than the other Oasis class ships because it was enclosed. It wasn't super hot when it was hot outside. You still had a nice cool area. You can still go to the pool. The pools weren't cold. They were nice room temperature pools. The hot tubs were nice. So I love the solarium. Brand new seating, brand new chairs. They had these big old plastic, round, cool looking chairs. It is the best solarium I have seen on any ships. It's really a cool area. They also have 2 bridges on either side of the solarium. We were able to go out there and get some really cool shots of the sunset that just overhangs in the very front of the ship. It's really cool, and they have one on either side. So yeah, that was a cool addition. Other than that, a few extra things that they have changed. One of them is the windjammer. Now this, I really did like what they did with the windjammer, because the other windjammers is just one big room in the Oasis class. You go in, they still have like 2 sections that you can go to either side. This one is actually going around the boardwalk area. It goes almost in a big circle, and you can go to the left or to the right to eat. Sometimes they're both open, sometimes one side's open, the other side's not. But you can seat all the way around the windjammer. You can get a seat right by the window where you can overlook the boardwalk, or you can get a seat on the other side where you can overlook the ocean. So I thought that was a really cool addition. They haven't done that before, so I really did like the way they did that. Lido decks. Lido decks are all pretty much the same as the other Oasis class. They have pools on either side. The one thing I did not like about the new Lido deck was their hot tubs were pretty much a glass see-through hot tub. So depending on if you want to get into a hot tub and have everybody that's on the Lido deck see what you look like in the water versus not, I would not prefer to put people through that. Didn't really like that big open see-through hot tubs that they had on either side. One thing that they did add to the Lido was this area where you can sit to watch TV. They have their big Jumbotron on one side of the ship, and they have a seating area right in front of it that you can watch movies, TV, messages, whatever they have on that Jumbotron at that time. So it was like a little mini stadium seating, all padded down. So I thought that was cool. Nice little different addition. Let's get to the rooms. As soon as we got to our room, the first thing that we noticed was how big the halls were now. Other Oasis class ships, any ships that we've ever been on, halls to get to your rooms are super skinny. They widen those things at least a couple feet because we had a ton of room to be able to get to our room. And you didn't have to squeeze to the side to let someone else go by like you normally do on a ship. Not only did they widen the halls, they redecorated them. They look nothing like traditional Royal Caribbean rooms. They had different color schemes, had a blue door, which I've never seen a blue door on a Royal Caribbean ship. Really did enjoy the rooms. They had really nice rooms. I liked their balconies. I always liked their balconies on the Royal Caribbean. Bathrooms, loved their bathroom. Their beds were super comfortable. Of course, it's a brand new ship, so they better be. Yeah, really did enjoy the rooms. Liked the new look of the rooms. Again, it felt like you were on a whole different cruise line itself. So yeah, rooms, the hallway, great, new addition. Like that a lot. Okay, now getting back to more of the deck 16, the sports deck. They changed it up a little bit there. You still have your basketball court. You can still play soccer. You can play volleyball. You can play pickleball on certain days where they bring out the different nets for those games and play them at certain times. But what they did differently is they normally have 2 flow riders on either side of the back of the ship. Now they only have 1 flow rider on one side, and on the other side they added a new addition, the playscape area for kids. And what it is, it's like a little jungle gym. It's got slides, it's got nets that they can climb on, it's got little tunnels they can climb on. It starts on deck 16 and actually goes down to 15 and a little bit of 14. So it's a nice big little area where the other flow rider usually is on the left hand side of the ship. So I thought that was a cool little addition. Not only that, but their new putt-putt course was the coolest one out of any ship I've been on. So this one's called Wonder Dunes. No greens whatsoever. Brand new mini putt-putt course. Really cool colors, bright colors. The putt-putt surface is different colors. I think it's like blue and pink and, you know, all of the aquatic colors. They've got octopuses and sharks and turtles, and just a really cool, neat addition versus your traditional putt-putt course. So yeah, that was really cool addition as well. Everything else is pretty much the same as far as the sports deck. They still have the zip line that goes over the boardwalk, the rock climbing walls on the boardwalk that is right beside the Aqua Theater. They still do have their Splashaway Bay, which is located on the Lido deck. They also have Adventure Ocean, which is located on deck 14. All ages the same as the other Oasis class ships. Escape Room, which is called the Puzzle Break Center. It was not open when we went on the ship, which was their second sailing, but that's supposed to open soon, so that will be cool when they have that open. It wasn't open when we went on the ship, so that stunk. And they also had in the Studio B area where you can go ice skating. They have the ice show there, so you can also do some ice skating at certain times of the day, and you can also do laser tag on the ship as well. So that was pretty much all of the kids things and the sports things that you can do, pretty similar to the Oasis class ships. They still have the Abyss, which I still chickened out on doing. I was going to do it, but they wouldn't let me film, so I said there's no point in doing it. Okay, so let's talk about their entertainment venues. Starting with the granddaddy of them all, the Aqua Show. They still have the Aqua Show there. They still have the Royal Theater. They still have Studio B for the ice shows and for your free skating from time to time. The music hall, let's see, the comedy club called the Attic. One of the new things that they did right beside the Diamond Club on deck 4, like you're going to the casino, instead of them having Jazz on 4, which is right across from the Attic, they now have the Golden Room. And you wouldn't know it unless you just walk straight into it, because there is no big signs that say anything. And all it is a high roller private casino room area, about the same size as what Jazz on 4 used to be. Pretty decent size. Have slot machines, a few table games, their own personal little bar area, as well as like little snacks and stuff. And we'll get to that in a minute about the regular casino, because that has changed as well. All the venues pretty much the same as the other Oasis class ships. But let's talk about specialty dining. So they still have Giovanni's, but it is the new revamped Giovanni's, and I cannot stress enough how good their new menu is. Going on the other Oasis class ships, we've gone to the older Giovanni's and did not like their food at all. Now they've added new appetizers. They have a spicy salami stromboli thing that is just amazing. They now have pizzas. These are really good, high-end, brick oven, delicious pizzas. They have chicken parmesan now. Just a much better menu. The food is just so much better than the older Giovanni's. It went from the worst specialty restaurant to the best specialty restaurant on the Oasis class ships. Chops is still Chops. It's still good. They still have the Azumi's. This Azumi's that we went to, I was disappointed. We went to the Hibachi Grill. We were able to get a reservation. We got put on a waiting list. I kind of wish we didn't go because of two things. One, they don't have teriyaki sauce on their Hibachi Grill, which confused me because I thought teriyaki chicken, teriyaki steak was a Hibachi Grill thing. When I asked for teriyaki sauce, they said, yeah, we don't do that. We do their version of teriyaki, which was nothing like teriyaki sauce. So I was disappointed in that. The other thing that's disappointing is there's an upcharge. You have to pay to eat there, and then you have to pay extra to eat there. I think it was $10 a person upcharge. You can also go in there and eat at their regular dinner table. They have a menu where you can get regular food, and they also have the sushi bar, which you can go and eat as well. We did the hibachi. The chef was excellent. The service was excellent. Was not happy with the food, and primarily because they did not have teriyaki sauce. That was it. The mason jar. That's a brand new Southern style restaurant that it's super hard to get a reservation for as well, especially at lunchtime. Two things I found out about the lunchtime part of Mason Jar. I asked the guy when we had our reservation for dinner, hey, is there any way we can get a lunch here? And he says, no, it's got like 150 people on the waiting list. And he says, and I don't know why, because we serve the exact same thing that they serve in the main dining room at lunch. He said the only difference is we have 2 extra things, and it was like some kind of guacamole toast and something else. I forgot what he said the other thing was, but he said everything else is the exact same thing that the main dining room is put on their menu. So I don't know why people have to be in here for lunch. Getting to the restaurant. We are from the South. We are from Tennessee, and we are not connoisseurs of the Southern food, but we know what good Southern food is, and we know what good Southern food is not. We both got the same thing, so that was our fault, but we both got the Nashville Hot Grandma's fried chicken. It was awful. Voyager T got macaroni and cheese. She said that was dry and bland. She got mashed sweet potatoes. She said it needed butter. It needed something. It needed brown sugar, cinnamon, butter, whatever you put on sweet potatoes, but she said it wasn't good at all. I kept it simple and just got a Nashville hot chicken fries, and I didn't like it at all either. It wasn't good Southern food to us. Other parts of the menu could have been good that we did not get. We've only eaten there one time, so I can't totally diss the thing overall, but what we had was not that good. So wasn't happy with the Mason Jar. We ate at Wonderland. Wonderland is not a place that you want to go to enjoy their food. You go there for their presentation. You go there for the entertainment part of the restaurant, because the food itself was not good. Unless you like hard-boiled eggs or deviled eggs that taste like firework, the way they present your food, they blow it up in smoke, and the entertainment part of the restaurant was good, but the food itself just wasn't good at all. And it's just one of those, to me, in my opinion, one of those restaurants where you need to try it once for the experience. You don't go there because the food is wonderful, because it just isn't. Now, Hooked was another place we ate. We did a lot of specialty dining. Hooked was really good. That's their seafood. We enjoyed that. That's one of those we would go to twice if we had to do nothing but specialty dining. Again, Giovanni's is another one. Did eat lunch at Chops. That was good as well. So specialty restaurants, we did not do the 150 Central Park. It's not my type of food. It's more of an upper end kind of atmosphere and food. Neither one of us liked that kind of food, so we didn't eat there, but I've heard nothing but good things about people who have eaten there. They also have Solarium Bistro, which I've heard really good things about as well. We did not eat in the dining room one single time because we had nothing but specialty dining the entire trip. We did eat in the Windjammer. Windjammer was okay. It wasn't, usually I really enjoy Royal Caribbean's buffets, and it's not just the wonder. Royal has either done some cutbacks or something. It's just not as good as it used to be. Although it was still good, it was not as good. So there's your food review, in my opinion. So now obviously I need to talk about the casino, because that's where I spend 90% of my time on the ships. Pretty much the same as the other Oasis class. The way that you can enter into it, it has 2 side entrances from the Royal Theater side, where the Studio B is kind of in the middle of those 2 entrances to the casino. One side of it is the art gallery. The other side of it is just a bare hall with some pictures. Non-smoking side, smoking side, like it normally is. One of the big changes that they did in that casino is you walk in, you can see some chairs, a couple of televisions, and then the bar. Well, they've really opened that up, and it's got a lot more space around the bar area. It's almost a big circle right in the center of the casino. So they've opened that up a lot. And another cool thing that I like that they've done was they added some video poker machines on the bars, or like normal casinos you've ever been to, going to a bar, they have video poker machines at the bar. So that was cool addition as well. Other than that, everything was pretty much the same. Casino, slot machines on both sides, table games on both sides. Okay, let's get to the entertainment part. They had 5 or 6 different shows. One of the shows that most people go to see on an Oasis class ship is the Aqua Show. Now, their Aqua Show is not complete. They have been pushed back as far as getting their show put completely together because of weather, because of rain, because of issues where they said they couldn't practice like other people could inside of their theater or studio or whatever because they are outside. So they weren't ready to put on a full production show. Having said that, we were on the second ever cruise. We heard a lot about how bad the first show was because all they did was some dancing. They did everything that they are going to do in the show. It just wasn't put together. They had the guy on top of the tightrope walking across the tightrope, divers diving into the pool. They had divers diving at the very top of the pool, straight down in. Basically what they did is they gave us bits and pieces of what their show was going to be. It just wasn't put together in one full production. They still had two girls instead of two guys doing the little rubber, or there's two rubber bands going across the pool and they bounce up and down on it and do backflips. They did that, which was super cool. They had a special guest there who did some juggling and some acrobats. He was from Ukraine, so that was cool. So even though it wasn't put together as a whole production, it was still a cool show. It still was an hour, and they still did everything cool that you go to see. I had no complaints about it because I was still impressed with everything that they did. They had a magic show, which was supposed to be some guy who deals with digital magic. Wasn't impressed with that at all. They had a show called Tap, which was basically tap dancers, drummers, and a contortionist. That was okay. The contortionist grossed a lot of people out, the way he was able to contort his body. A lot of oohs and uhs about that one, but you know, I'm a drummer, so I dug the drumming deal, and tap dancing was cool. It wasn't the greatest show I've seen on a royal ship, but it was okay. It was good. Then they had a woman named Jennifer Singer as another show. She is a Broadway singer. She was a good singer. She sang Broadway tunes. It wasn't a show, it was just songs. So it was kind of like going to see Wayne Newton type of thing, where she goes out there and sings Broadway tunes. Then they had a band, which was my favorite, concert or venue, whatever you want to call it, and they were a classic rock cover band called Phoenix. They were a tight band. They were a good band. They played really good songs. They played a good variety of songs. Really cool show. I enjoyed that. The last Royal Theatre show that they had was called Voices, and it was an a cappella show. And it was good and it was not good. Good part was it was cool to see how they everything from the bass line to the drums, the snare drum, hi-hat, and then all of the singing was all done by mouth. The weird part was they had a few people out there singing, but then they had video footage of the other people pre-recorded doing all of the beats and the bass drums and all that stuff of their songs. You know, it was still okay. The other issue that I had with it, it was very preachy. They really made you feel bad, almost made you feel guilty for being on a cruise ship having a good time, because they were showing all the injustices in the world and how feel real bad about yourself for being on this cruise ship kind of thing. So yeah, that was a little uncomfortable to watch. Then the last show that they had was their ice show. I don't know if that was a full done production show that they're going to be doing over and over again. It was called 365. They had some really good skaters, some of the best ice skaters I've seen on any ship. I know the first cruise said that they didn't have a lot of their props and stuff that came in, so they couldn't do a full show. This one, it seemed like they had a few props and stuff. The skaters themselves are amazing. They were, like I said, the best skaters I've seen on any royal ship that has the ice show, so that was really impressive. Overall, I'd say if you give them a month or two, once they get everything and all the kinks worked out, they'll really have some good shows. But it looks like they kind of threw what they could together. They had to get something going on so people on the ship can have some entertainment. That looks like kind of what they did. Okay, and real quick, the last few things we're going to talk about: the bars, same bars that they've always had. They still have the Bionic bar. They still have the Lime and Coconut bar. Nothing's really changed on that part. They still have the Playmakers up on the boardwalk deck. One thing that they changed is they had a wine bar area on the Central Park, and they've kind of combined Giovanni's and the wine bar into one restaurant. Promenade, pretty much the same as the other Oasis class ships. Two things that they have done differently: they put a 65 Mustang in there, which I really like because I'm a Mustang guy, and they put a big giant aluminum cowboy hat in there. And that was a head scratcher. Didn't know quite what to think about that one. They still have spotlight karaoke in the Royal Promenade like they do on the other ones. And they still have boleros, the Latin dance hall area where you can drink, dance floor, Latin music. So they still have that as well. They still have a Starbucks in the Royal Promenade. Oh, and they also have the Rising Tide Bar, which starts in the Promenade and goes up to Deck 8 to Central Park and back down. Two more things, and one of them is they had a parade. It was the first time that they have done a parade on the ship since the pandemic. We got to see a parade on the Royal Caribbean Wonder of the Seas. So that was really cool to see. You can see it on one of my vlogs. I think it was on day 4, day 5 on the Wonder of the Seas vlog. But that's a new addition that they're continuing to do. The last thing is the people on the ship, the crew. This ship by far has been the best crew, the best servers, the best room steward, the best cruise director, the best group of people that we have seen on a ship, period. By far. They went out of their way to make sure that we had everything that we wanted. From the room steward, who was probably my favorite room steward that I've ever had, to the waiters, the waitresses, the bartenders, just everybody on that ship has just been top notch. Like I said, the best crew I've ever seen or had on any ship. So my overall view, let's give this thing a rating. Let's start out with the crew. 10 out of 10 on the crew. Rooms, 10 out of 10. Love the rooms, love the bathrooms, love the bigger shower that was in there. Obviously it's a brand new ship, new car smell to it, so that was great. Entertainment. Entertainment I'd probably give 5 out of 10 just because there's a lot of improvement that needs to be done. And a lot of it isn't their fault. Sure, they had a specific sell date that they wanted to get the ship out, and a lot of the entertainment stuff wasn't ready, so they did the best they could to get what they could together for the cruise. So I'm sure it'll get better, but for right now we'll just say 5 out of 10. Food. Specialty dining, we'll say 6 out of 10 just because half the restaurants we ate at weren't that great for me. Again, my opinion only. Wonderland wasn't that good in my opinion. Mason Jar was disappointing. Chops was good. Hook was good. And Giovanni's was just excellent. Izumi's, the upcharge is ridiculous, and the food, the chefs there and the waitresses and the servers there were excellent, but the food and the options that they had for the food wasn't that great. Overall, as far as all dining, specialty dining, I'd say 6 out of 10 because it's got really room for improvement on those as well. Didn't eat in the dining room, so I can't give a rating on that. The windjammer, like I said, it seems like they were lacking on some options. They did add some bakery and some more dessert areas and stuff like that, which was awesome. But the food quality in general, it just seems like they were cutting back on some stuff. So for the windjammer, we'll say 7 out of 10 because it was still good food. Just in comparison to other times I've been in the windjammer, not as good, but still good. Bars and stuff like that, we'll call that 10 out of 10 because they make you a drink. Servers were great. The overall layout on the ship, I love Oasis class ships, and they just upped it. So 10 out of 10 on the layout, 10 out of 10 on the rooms and the hallway. Embarkation and Debarkation, 10 out of 10. It's so quick to get on and off the ship. The casino, I will give it about an 8 out of 10. I love what they did with the new bar area. It did seem like the casino could be a little bit bigger, but it's a casino, and I didn't lose everything that I had as soon as I walked in. I did actually win sometimes, which is unlike me on a royal ship. I think I'll give that an 8 out of 10. That was I like that casino. I love the little addition to the high roller section as well. I just can't afford that. Oh, and they also added a little food eating area or an hors d'oeuvre area. It only opens at a certain time, but that was another cool addition that they did in the casino itself. Sports deck and activities. They added a couple more things. Loved the mini golf again. So I would say 9 out of 10 on that. And, just overall the ship, I gotta give it a 9 out of 10. I won't give it a 10 out of 10 because of the entertainment is still working its kinks out, but once that thing gets going, it's just going to be an awesome ship. I mean, it was already an awesome ship when we went on it, and we went on their second cruise. Once they get all of their kinks worked out on Broadway shows and all that other stuff, it's really going to be awesome. So that's my opinion of the Wonder of the Seas. It's heading to Europe for a little while, and then it's coming back here. So hopefully by the time it does come back to the United States, it will be in full force, and I can't wait to go on it again. Woo! It got cold. Sorry. I had to put a sweatshirt on because it got cold. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. There is no way I can cut this down to 10 to 15 minutes. But Wonder's a big ship, so there was a lot to talk about. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. One of these days I want to learn what Patreons are and figure that one out. Probably won't. I don't care. I just like doing this. I like babbling on a camera. Hello there. Until next time, peace and love, and I will see you on our next voyage. Bye-bye.